Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Is my speech still free? Well, not for long. We don't stand up those that want to muzzle us.
You're canceled.
I suppose that's why you're here, ain't it?
You're canceled.
Welcome, all you does and bucks and all you little buckers. I was raised not to boast, but I am your host, Buckhead Jones Jr. But don't call me that. That was my daddy's name. You can just call me Bucker.
Alrighty then.
And this is the second episode. Wow, second already. Jeez, time flies when you're talking truth. One story. When we sitting down to talk about this show and what was going to be called, my first inkling was to call it Bucker in the Outhouse, and then record the whole damn thing in an actual outhouse, like a decommissioned outhouse, so you didn't have to smell the roses. But Dan the man over there thought the name was too. Oh dang! What was that big old $100 word? Dan, Gulchy, Dan, Gulchy. I'ma get his attention, would you? He's always on that dang phone playing that fruit nibbler game. You think they was paying him? Yeah, Dan. What was it? We didn't want to call Bucker in the out. The word, scatological.
Big word found, Mom.
That was it. Guy spends $100 on a word he could have bought for a penny. All it means is poop. But that's Dan for you, always using big words like branding, or you always talking about demographic synergy and values forward monetization pipeline.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, that's right. It was just a word salad full of letter syllables and stewed rocket greens. Anywho, we settled on the buck stops here, and here we is where the buck is just getting started.
Somebody stop me!
We's the only pot out there bringing you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. And I know what you're thinking. What God you talking about, Bucker? Well, sir, whatever God you want to believe in is all right with me. except, of course, that weird cartoon one with the 6 arms and the red dot from the Hindu Bible.
You can't say that.
That just sounds made up. Anywho, we got no scripts, we got no filter, just one man, a microphone, and a Turkish sound engineer. Goes by the name of Damla Yilmaz. How you doing today, Damla? Okay. What you got on your head there? Looks like a upside-down clucking bucket.
Drop some buckets. Come on down to Clucking Bucket. Pluck it, suck it. Drop some buckets. We'll make your meal a bucket.
Like you order yourself a Friars dozen Tonka tenders, scarf them down, and you said, dang, I don't know which garbage hole this thing goes in. Is it recycle, upcycle, compost, depost, or organic matter? Dang, what just happened to the plain old trash hole? So he said, nuts of this, I'll just wear it as a hat.
We'll make your meal a bucket.
Yummy.
Is it what? Is it what? A fez. Like the bird? Is it like a pheasant? So I was half right there. All right, let's get after it. So last week's I was watching the Backwater Bits and Bites Bowl, WB Steak Tech Lawson, and just a nail biter. But we'll get them next year, fellas. And I fell asleep in my chair, and next thing I know, it's 6 a.m. and that new show, Waking Up in America's on. You know, the one hosted by the real pretty lady with the big old sweater stretchers. She sits beside the not so pretty fella. Looks like he fell out of the homely tree, gave himself a hell of a face palsy when he hit bottom.
What the hell is even that?
Anyway, pretty stacked lady. She's doing a story on how social media influencer types play a significant role in, get this, on how people perceive and act with meat.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
And I was like, what in the HE double shotgun barrel she talking about? Ain't meat just meat?
Oh, hell
And there ain't no perception other than it's good for your heart, your brain, and most of all, your belly. And interaction with it. Last time I checked, the only interaction you got with meat is stuffing it in your meat hole. So I was like, the news has done gone crazy, but this pretty chesticled lady ain't never lied to me before, so I got to think maybe it ain't the news. Maybe these so-called people's doing the influencing, specifically the so-called millennials. Now, if you ain't never heard that term before, I don't blame you.
I'm so confused.
And it all started a long time ago. Not that long ago, Domlin. That's better. So, first up in Americas, we had a group of folks known as Greatest Generation. They the ones, if it weren't for them, we'd all be speaking Nazi Japanese-o.
That's more better.
Yeah, they truly was great. And then, of course, came the not-so-great generation, or the baby boomers, as they called themselves. I don't gotta tell you how bad they was.
This fella that was doing the talking had a haircut like Tarzan, he walked like Jane, and smelled like Cheetah.
Hippies. And then there was us. Yeah, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up.
Incidentally, what's the DM been up to lately? I hadn't heard from him in a hot minute. Shame. He's a talented man. So, after Gen X comes Gen Y. Why? Oh, I don't know, maybe because that's how alphabets don't work. So why did Gen Y feel the need to change their name? I'll tell you why. Because they the most ungrateful, privileged, stuck-up candy butts the world's ever seen.
Daddy, chill.
They here to take a wrecking ball to everything we built.
I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard.
Example. Last weekend, I'm up in Moundsville playing the Swine and Dine Spring Fling. You probably heard of them. They're pretty famous. Folks come from miles around for the pig in the pot competition. You don't know what that is. You missing out. There's stewed bacon, ham, back ribs, spare ribs, pork chops, pork loins, pork belly too. It's cooked in some special sauce for 72 hours, low and real slow.
Oh, yummy.
So I was sitting there with Dan Dogfish and the Ramblin' River Clan slapping bass. We was playing the 11 to noon 30 slot on the side stage right after before his Potbelly Showcase, but before the toilet seat throwing competition. That was fun. So we just finished our third number, Tailgate Tan Lines.
Lying under the truck, trying to get some shade.
Yeah, that's the one.
Even though it's a flaw, the dang sun won't fade. There ain't nothing quite as fun as tailgate tan line.
Banger song, ain't it? Anyway, we're getting set to launch into our next number, a cover of She Left Me for Jesus Again by the GOAT, Rhett Denham, and that's when I seen him. A millennial. This frosty, white, skinny kid with loose, sort of half-calf length pants like somebody's mama would wear. He had his little hair bun and his nails all done up like it's Halloween or something. And he's wearing this little crop top number about 3 sizes too small.
You're so big.
Either that or his mama trunk it in the wash, or he just sucked back a 2-liter Howdy Pop and his little belly was all bloated. But whatever, I don't judge. It's all cool. But that's when he shouts something at us. Now, I didn't hear it the first time because I'm 8% deaf to my left ear.
I can't hear you.
But then I'd spun like a 360, and this alleged he shouts it again.
Eggs are more than just meat.
Yeah, that's it. That's an honest-to-God grown man's voice you was hearing there. Anyway, that sentiment didn't quite sit right with me, and my blood starts boiling. And Danny looks back at me as much as say, "Don't say nothing, Bucker. I knows what you're thinking, but this ain't your podcast, soapbox truth sermon." And he was right. They was nice Christian folk come out to hear music. Not to watch Rachel Madcow on MSLGB TV.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, let's just play. But wouldn't you know it, the second Billy Bum puts his drumstick together, starts counting us in, this little Tinkerbell up and done shouts it again. And then it was almost as if I was a man possessed by Jesus, Joseph, Mary, and Brian themselves. JJMB is a bluegrass soul quartet out of Chapel Dust. They always had a very spiritual message. Anywho, the power of them possessed me to stand right up and shout right back to this old millennium fella. And I says, what else is you supposed to do with pigs? Besides eat them. You can't milk them. Well, sir, the crowd, they didn't know what quite to make of that. Should they laugh or should they gasp? See, these was very Christian folk, and they weren't used to hearing sassy snapback clapbacks like I just done uttered. So they was clutching them pearls and fanning themselves, wondering, dang, what do we do here? I swear the place was quieter than a snapping turtle watching a bullfrog sermon. I looked over at Dan Duckfish, and he was rolling his eyes, mouthing, "Ooh, Bucker, you gonna get in trouble for this one." I was thinking to myself, yeah, I might be lucky if I get out of here with a disturbing the peace citation from Sheriff Bangles. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise and take out the bridge.
What the hell? Oh my God! No way! Yeah.
But I couldn't let this little millennium fella off the hook, so I doubled down. I says to him, "Yeah, you know what? Pigs is more than just meat. They rapists. Yeah, nothing consensual about when they make love to a sow.
Fatality.
Are you pro-rapist?" Well, sir, the crowd, they wasn't quiet no more. Folks was laughing and carrying on like a fiddle had a baby with a thunderstorm and named him Friday Night. This one old woman, bless her soul, decked out in a sequin American flag 10-gallon cowgirl. She was snaking back a double-foot-long cheese and great dog. Laughed so hard she started choking. Real bad, actually. They had to cart her off in a hospital truck. I think she survived. Donna, look that up. Would you for me any deaths of the swinodon last weekend? I can't read that. Can you biggin that up? Well, I don't know. It's too big. I can't name my readers. Was that woman? Was that woman chokes to death on corn dog and swinodon? Sheesh. Well, shoot. Not sure how accurate, reliable, a lot of this fake news is, but where's it from? Blank dealer, huh? That's usually pretty reliable. Okay. All I'm saying is I got a pretty good look at her, so she also had some pretty bad gout in her feet, and maybe that could have been the thing that actually did her in. Either way, try not to let that put a damper on this story. It's not really the point. Point is, kids today, they up and done lost their minds.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
So, what we gonna do about it, Bucker? Well, sir, there's only one thing we can do, and that's take away them dang phones. They spend more time on those things than a tumbleweed trying to blow his nose in a C5 tornado. Ain't that right, Dan? How much dang fruit can one man nibble?
Fruit frenzy!
Now, I knows the phones is handy for emergencies, but you just replace it with one of them.
It's the Jitterbug. Bigger buttons, a powerful speaker. The sound is loud and clear.
Yeah, that's right, Millennial. Your phone ain't gonna be smart no more. Nope, just a dumb heavy brick.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
It's up to you to become smart now. You're gonna start building character. Make you use your brain the way we used to. You hear that, Mr. Ivy League with the 1250 SAT? Yeah, let's see you memorize 9 digits of at least 15 people. Yeah, that doesn't make your magnum cum laude brain explode, won't it?
Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
See, here's the thing, sir. Back in my day, you weren't swiping and letting some robot generate words for you, no.
You serious?
You were T9ing it. writing stuff like, "Where you at?" took 22 thumb taps in the patience of a hesychast monk.
Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God.
Back in my day, internet wasn't just always on magically, no sir. You had to summon it. It'd go down to the library, check yourself in, wait for a computer to free up, dial up the modem, and that screamed at you like an Indian being treated by a fax machine.
No.
Wrong Indian. Wrong Indian. Feather, not dot, Dama. She gets them mixed up. Yeah, that's the one. Then you had to sit there with nothing but your own thoughts, waiting for Netscape to boot up one pixel at a time.
A few moments later.
This is all to just watch some dumb video somebody told you about.
2 hours later.
And you went fast forward and no commercial. No, sir. 3, 2, 1, skip. No, sir. No, you'd just be sitting there watching a bunch of sick office workers doing the Macarena, hoping some pink goo cures what ails them.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
And guess what? You gotta watch it alone. No running live commentary, that's right. No tick-chat, tip-top reacts. No YouTube rundown, breakdown, tear down. Nope. You just watched it. Then you processed it internally. Formed your own dang opinion until you got to school the next day and you realized you was wrong.
It's an urban legend that never happened.
And you wanted a selfie. Well, try heading down to the Radio Shack, pick yourself up a disposable click and shoot, and you take your shot and take it to a fella sitting in a little booth outside a strip mall, pay him $17.50, wait 3 days to find out if you blinked.
Bruh.
That was a gamble, but that was a game.
God!
You want to listen to a song? Oh, come on now. You can't just listen to any song in the world you want. Nope, loser. You gotta go download LimeWire.
Oh my God!
And while you're at it, you get 12 viruses, a couple Uzbeki bootleg version, get yourself on an FBI watch list,
FBI, open up!
and a $10 million lawsuit against you by Metallica. You know what? You felt alive. So, mamas, daddies, if fear ain't hitting these boys harder than facts and they won't part with their dang phone like it's gorilla tape to their hand or something, well, sir, I don't know, military school.
Fatality.
And that's where the buck done stopped today. I'm Bucker Jones Jr. See you next time. You know, Tommy, if we was sick, we couldn't WebMD no symptoms either. No, you just watched that lump grow on your neck till you died. Completely confused.